What's up, party people? Welcome to another edition of Marquee Backstage All Access. I'm your host, Julie Milam. As always, we're diving deep into the lives and music of our guests, and we'll share 5 full-length song performances, all of which were recorded at Thunder Sound Studios. We're excited to bring you a 5-star show today with a high five rock band. That's right, we're talking about the Japanese Schoolgirls. This band was founded back in 2007 by friends Lucas Galarte and Andrew Dondi Dondeville. They are known for playing rockin' house parties, working the crowds at their local bars, festivals, and everything in between. Honestly, there's no telling where you might cross paths with these crazy cats, and we know you're gonna love them. We're happy to have them fill the studio with their one-of-a-kind sound, so give it up for the Japanese Schoolgirls. Here's Per Diem. That was the Japanese Schoolgirls with Per Diem. Up next, we sit down with the band as Lucas and Dondi recall the famous house party where they first started writing and playing music together. We'll also meet Jerry, Corey, and Miles, and we'll learn about their unique introductions into the band. You don't want to miss it. Plus, get ready for more music from your favorite band featuring Dab Flat. Welcome to Marquee Backstage.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Man, tell us how the Japanese Schoolgirls came to be.
Well, I mean, I met Dondi through his girlfriend at the time.
Dondi, raise your hand.
Yeah.
Hi.
And I was working with her at a restaurant, and we just partied together and stuff like that. We drank, and first I thought he was a dick.
Well,
The truth comes out.
I guess it takes one to know one, though. And so, we hung out, and we went out carousing and stuff like that, and it was August 3rd. Shit. Like, what? How many years ago? Like,
it's been like 15 years.
15 years?
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm still hanging out with you.
I know, right?
And it was my mom's birthday, and so, like, my mom's a big part of my life. I love her very much. And
Great lady.
yeah, she's an awesome woman, dude. And it was her birthday, so we were hanging out, and we went out to dinner, and we got a little buzzed, and met up with Dondi, and we were supposed to go to this toga party, and like he was still in school, and after that, we were getting ready to leave from his house, and like everybody's coming from this toga party because the cops broke it up.
Before you could get there.
Before we could even get there. I mean, they would have definitely called.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there waiting on them to get there so we can go to the party. So I was playing guitar on the porch, and they walk up and just start singing.
Yeah, I was like,
Are you in your sheet and everything?
No, I hadn't put it on yet.
Okay.
I was just sitting
Just
there
trying to
waiting
get the
on
visual.
Yeah, my mom didn't want to wear a toga either, so so at least she was clothed though. And
So he was amazed by your musical talent.
Well, I didn't even see him when I first heard him starting to sing. Like it was on Park Street, and I had bushes on both sides, so I was just sitting there playing, thought I was by myself, and then just hear somebody singing along. I'm like, what is this? And then Lucas and his mom come walking up, and just kept going.
yeah, like so.
Wrote the first song right there.
Yeah, it only took like that first run, and then
Yeah.
like we went on to other songs. Like I think we wrote three or four songs that night
in a matter of a day or two.
and then but as the night progressed, we got more inebriated, and so we remembered most of it.
Well, I recorded it on my computer.
That's what it was.
And yeah, I woke up the next day. I was like, was that actually any good? Because I was pretty drunk last night. I went back and listened to it. I'm like, hey, that's not bad.
Well, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't
great.
Yeah, no.
It was better than I expected, honestly.
Do you remember any of those songs?
Hmm?
Do you remember any of those songs?
Oh yeah, couple of them. I mean, like
Yeah.
I don't remember all of them,
No.
but then so we started. He and I started playing, and we started hitting open mic nights at Tidball's, and then after that, I was like, shit, we should get a band, like that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
And so I asked David Kim, and he was playing with Perfect Confusion at the time, which we know became Cage Elephant, and
It was right after he
it
left.
was right
Yeah.
before. It was like right on the cusp of that.
Yeah.
And so we had him playing bass, and then we had Mikey from Canago playing drums with us, and like he sat in, like he'd wear a Darth Vader mask, like it was my
The one, and it had the little voice in it.
yeah, it was.
So it like made it sound like Darth Vader when he talked. It was pretty cool, man.
And then like so we started playing together, and after that we like David quit playing because he wanted to focus more on school, so Craig Brown played bass for a little bit. Then after that, and then after that, we got Eric Curtis to. No, it was Jason.
Yeah.
It was Jason that played.
We've had a lot of changes in band members, mostly in the bass department, honestly.
Yeah, bass department, because otherwise, and then we had Brandon Burchett, like he was playing in Consuming the Airplane at the time, and he was like, "Hey man, I play music,"
That's pretty much exactly how it went down.
And we're like, yeah, well, we live in Nashville. Shit, come on down and play some music with us, you know? And the next day, like, I think it was like 2 days later, like, he showed up because he had guitar lessons down in Nashville at Belmont.
Just showed up and we're like, oh, dude, I wasn't expecting. All right, let's jam.
But we were hungover as hell, man.
We
like,
were. Because wasn't Joseph was throwing up that morning, right?
Yeah. And Joseph Gregory,
Yeah, he was passed out in hospital.
Just another day at your place.
Yeah. We're like, it was like, hey, you came from Bowling Green. You got to get up and play drums. Oh, I don't think so.
And sluggishly, we played it off, and after that, because I remember you were apprehensive at first.
I didn't want another guitar player.
You didn't want your Thunder stolen.
Well,
Yeah, let's be real, Dondi.
I mean, call it what it is, but then we started jamming. I'm like, hey, this is way better with two guitar players. I don't have to play as much. So
yeah, it took the responsibilities off you a little bit.
Took some of the holding down the rhythm off and let me just like let things work its way out. So
then Brandon got a talk box.
Oh yeah,
and that bastard said that thing was 50 pounds. Like
it's maybe 5.
He's like, man, this
thing's 50 pounds, man.
This thing's so heavy, man. I gotta lug this around. I'm not throw up my bike. And after that, we started playing for a couple years, and everything was going swimmingly. And then we played a couple of festivals and stuff like that. Well, not a couple. We played like 5 or 6, like throughout that time, that era.
It was the whole
Starry Nights. Yeah, and then things kind of fell apart there, just on differences of things. And no. First, it was Brandon was getting married, and then he was moving to Colorado, and then Eric got married, so he quit the band too. And then we picked up. Miles. Miles was playing bass with us. Like I saw him at Mellow Mushroom, and he said he was a wreck at that time. At that point in his life, like he was coming out of divorce.
I did not even realize. So we have been playing Tib-Balls for a long time at this point, and we used to have this guy get up on stage with a green man, and I never knew who it was. Never knew who it was. And then
he was trying to earn a place in the band.
And then Miles joins the band, and he'd been in the band for numerous months before I realized it was him. And I was like, you were the Green Man? Because he would always come right up next to me, and I was just like, hey, look, it's the Green Man. And never even asked. But I always thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I just caught Miles one day down at Mellow Mushroom when they still had the beer rewards thing. Going on where you get a plate on the wall for completing all the beers that they have. And he was heavily intoxicated, and I guess I did some smooth talking.
Fit.
Yeah, right? We did some smooth talking, and I was like, do you want to join the band? He was like, yeah.
Thought you never asked.
It sounds kind of good. And by proxy, like, since we didn't have another guitarist, he came through way of Jimmy. He's like, man, I play with a guy. I play with a guy.
I know a guy.
We play in my garage. And so we tried out Jimmy, and like we always had like this thing, like we would initiate people, like we make them do stupid shit.
I cannot imagine that.
Oh
yeah, you're on probation when you're first joining the band.
And like
every time we talk back, we'd be like, that's 90 more days. I think it took him about 4 years to actually.
It took him 2 years. I mean, like it really wasn't. We were just messing with him, but I remember like to get Miles in the band, we just poured juice on his shoe.
Yeah,
that was it. Yeah. But like Jimmy got it the worst, and then like our drummer at the time, Joseph Gregory. We'll leave that story unsaid for another time. He did some stuff, and we parted ways, and we got Jerry to come through. He was playing with the Black Shades at the time, and this guy got lucky though. He didn't have any initiation.
You at all.
We didn't put him on probation or nothing.
I can remember.
That's
a
a
good
good
point.
point.
It so easy on Jerry? He's just too nice.
So what are the first impressions of you guys coming into the band later? I'm sure you were aware of these two. Yeah. So literally, what was the first impression?
I don't remember what the first impression was.
Or the
Exactly
second.
what you'd
Or the
expect.
second or third.
Not what you would expect?
No,
course, I'd
exactly
known
what
it
you would
was
expect
like
if
that.
you'd been to one of those shows before.
Yeah.
I mean, Dondi was being standoffish as hell in the beginning, and Lucas was just being a weirdo.
And now we live together.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you're not standoffish anymore.
No, he's my
Well,
buddy.
he's just being. He's just messing with.
Dondi being Dondi.
How to initiate him?
Yeah.
I mean, we had to put somebody through the
Yeah,
ringer,
you
and I
just-
feel bad that you got it the worst, but I love you the most.
Made you stronger.
Yeah.
Builds character.
Well, we are excited to have all of you with us today. We have a huge show in store, and we're going to share lots more stories.
Oh, for sure.
All right, let's do this.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
You're welcome.
Boomerang won't fly. Listen, now let it go. Watch it sail high through the sky. 'Cause if I let go, it will come back to me. This I do know. All I see. 'Cause if I let go, it will fly far away, coming back to me its own way. But I won't let go. Universe is big, bigger than you'll ever know. Put it in your mind, watch it grow. 'Cause if we are from points A, B, and also C, how do we wind up at D? 'Cause if we are dust or grow so far away, how did we wind up here today? But I won't let go.
As always, we want to thank our friends at Thunder Sound Studios for allowing us to film our show from their fully equipped analog and digital recording studio complex in Franklin, Kentucky. For more information about Thunder Sound, please visit thundersound.com or follow them on social media at Thunder Sound Studio. We all know the Japanese schoolgirls like to party, but up next, we're getting serious with lead singer Lucas Galarte. He'll open up about his childhood and the complicated relationship he had with his mom. More importantly, he talks about how they managed to turn things around and have become closer than ever. We'll follow that up with a performance of Silverfish, so stay with us. Lucas, tell us how you've changed over the years and what inspires you to kind of fuel the fire of the Japanese schoolgirls.
Well, I'd honestly say that changing through the years. I mean, like as a kid, I was really smart. I was almost too smart for my own good, and now I think it's caught up with me. So I'm not saying I'm smart anymore because I don't know shit. Like, to be perfectly honest, you think you know a lot, and then finally there's that one day you get that aha moment where it hits you in the face and you're like, okay, I guess I don't know what I thought I knew because something put a different perspective in my wheels. And like growing up, it was weird, man. Like, cause I grew up with my mom from birth to like kindergarten, and then she hit a kid like in a car, and like so she had to go through all this legal process like of like getting everything right for him, and so she didn't pass me. I wouldn't say pass, but she had to let me go with my aunt to make her my legal guardian at the time. And like I was very confused because I didn't know that why am I not, because that wasn't divulged to me, So I just felt like that she was just going away, and I didn't get to see her for a long time, like for a real long time. And then she started getting visitation rights again because she signed legal guardianship over to my aunt. And I was just really confused as a kid. I just felt like I was unwanted. And then like after kindergarten, I went to first grade with my brother in Vegas, and that was all right, except for my brother's stepmom used to beat the shit out of us, like with anything that she could find, like cutting boards, coat hangers, like whatever, wooden spoons, and it's just to make you tougher though, And after that, I told my aunt about all that stuff, so I was like, I want to come back home. So I finished out first grade there in Vegas and came back to California in second grade. And, there was a sense of normalcy there, a good family life. My grandmother, she was Jehovah's Witness, so it was kind of weird growing up because everybody else in the family was a, whatever, because there's so, like, my grandfather's Catholic. It's just an amalgamation of religions. And my grandfather and grandmother on my mother's side, they were divorced, and my dad was out of the picture, so it was just really funny, like, because we'd celebrate holidays with everybody else, but my grandma would be like, and she was the matriarch, she'd be like, no Halloween, no, and have to go to Bible studies with her and stuff like that. And yeah, the world's funny. The way I just think it's really funny the way things are, because everybody's different and everybody thinks they know everything and nobody knows shit. Like that's the biggest thing. Nobody knows what's going on. Like, even if they think they have control of it, anything can be taken away at any time. And growing up, like, I was a good student, and then finally around, like, when I was 11, I think, my mom and my dad and my aunt were in this, like, trifecta battle of, like, what's the word? Custody. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. But they had that problem there, and everybody was vying for it, and about at 11 years old, you're allowed to make a sound decision to where you want to go. And I was like, I want to go with my mom, man. Like, that's no brainer, because dad wasn't in the picture, even though he said he wanted to be, and it doesn't matter. There's no hard feelings or anything. It doesn't matter. And so like I got to be with my mom, and all of a sudden I had this like wide range of freedom. I could do what I wanted. I could say what I wanted. I was allowed to cuss. And I thought that was great. I was like, I can say shit whenever I want. But like I wasn't allowed to say fuck yet. Like it's kind of like when you get older, you're allowed to say these things, but at 11 you can say shit, crap, hell, and damn, but you can't say fuck, And I just thought that was cool that I was allowed to really express myself. And even though like cussing and stuff, it's you don't have to cuss to make a point, but it sure is fun. Explicatives are awesome. That's one of my favorite things. But And then, like, the veil was kind of pulled from my eyes that my mom wasn't the person that I thought she was at the time, because, like, she was a hellraiser. She was getting into shit still, like, you know. And so, like, the more we lived together, the more, like, I resented her, because I was just a little bastard, you know. Like, I was a bad kid. I was a good kid and a bad kid. Like, I was smart and I did my homework and stuff like that, and then, like, just kind of fell off and stopped. I cut school a lot and I didn't smoke weed until I was like 15, and I didn't even like it then, you know. And then, like, my mom and I butted heads, and I remember, like, one of the biggest times I, like, really didn't like my mom was I was 15 and we were in Vegas, and we were staying in a hotel. Like, actually, it was like a shitty roach motel. It wasn't just like a hotel. It was like 2-level, like, shitty motel, empty swimming pool. Like, it said it had a pool, but it didn't have a pool. They had a pool, but there was no water in the pool. And she left me to go back to California to go fuck off, you know, have some fun. And I remember that one day I was just, like, sitting there eating, like, what food we had in the fridge, because they had, like, a little fridge in there. And I remember eating this taco, and I microwaved the taco, and then, like, all of a sudden there's these roaches in the taco, and, like, they're still alive too, man. And I was like, this taco wasn't crunchy the last time I ate it. and so I called my brother came and picked me up, and after that, Mom came back, because I was staying with my brother. And look, but it was so funny, because, like, Mom didn't pay rent at the motel for weeks, I guess. I don't know. Like, we were behind on rent. And, like, because I remember coming home that day, like, the day that I ate the tacos, and they were like, no, you can't go back in after, like, I called my brother, and then, like, they kicked me out. And they're like, you can't go back in. I was like, well, I need to go get my books, at least, my school books. And so they let me in, like, they were, like, right over my back, but I remember, like, where my mom, like, put all her rings and stuff like that. So, like, I got all of her rings, and I, like, stuffed her fur coat in my backpack, and fucking, like, I took anything of value, you know. And I took that and went with my brother, and he took me to his house and stayed there until she came back from California. And then, like, you know, and that was probably the biggest time that I didn't like my mom. But, like, after that, we moved back to California for a year, and she had this friend at the time named Aubrey, and we were supposed to move to Arizona, and then we moved to Kentucky instead. And because, like, he was a journeyman, and he said, well, this is the time before, like, internet being prevalent, and you did all your business on the phone, on a landline even. And so he's like, well, the job fell through. We're going to Kentucky. And the reason we were going to Arizona in the first place is because if shit went south with them, we could go back to California, because Arizona's so close to California, like, it's just a day ride. To whereas Kentucky's all the way on the other side of the United States. But we came here, and I was like, this sucks. But, like, that's when my mom really stepped up, like, and started actually, like, being a really good mom and just being awesome and putting her kid first rather than, like, fucking off, you know. And she started getting clean and being a better mom, and, like, I think that's when, like, we started bonding rather than fighting each other. And I mean, I'm so thankful that, like, she's my rock. She's my best friend now. Like, I guess you got to go through hell to get to realize that things are good, you know? Like, I mean, because if you walk through all that shit and it's that bad, there's something good around the corner, you know? You got to be positive thinking. You can't let negativity get a hold of you, and you got to laugh a lot. That's the most important thing, I think, is, you know, make jokes out of shit. Like, even if it's dark humor, as long as you just make it a joke and you don't mean it, you know, I think that's the best thing to do. And we just started, like, getting together and being friends and talking a lot more, communicating. I think that's one of the most important things, is, like, a lot of parents just tell their kids to shut the fuck up, you know? And it's like, well, rather than just tell them shut the fuck up, why not be their friend? Like, be there to listen and also explain to them why. Don't say just because I said so. Sometimes you have to say just because you said so, but most of the time explain why. And I think that's what my mom did, is like she explained why rather than just saying shut the fuck up or like, you know, like stuff like that. And I just think the turnaround was when we moved back to Kentucky and we became better friends, and she just started being a better person and made me a better person, I think, in the long run of things. And that's, I mean, like, I do things for my mom. Like, I mean, I love her, like, very much. And she's just an awesome woman. Like, she's very positive. Like, she's a breast cancer survivor, you know? And I revel in her awesomeness because, like, I think that she is a very strong person. If she can get through that, I know that I have some of what she has inside of me too, because I'm part of her. So that's what I think is what really like is my fire and is my fuel, like is rocking for my mom, you know. That's what I'd say. I think that's what fuels me, and having a good time with my friends. I mean, these guys are amazing people. Like, I'd do anything for them except kill my mom, of course, you know.
We love our mom.
No, yeah, of course. No, I'm just joking. Like I said, there's that joking shit, you know. But I think it was my mom that really pulled me through everything, you know, like made me realize that the world can be a dark place, but you should be the light in it, you know. That's what I think.
Both definitely are that. Thank you. That's killer.
Thank you.
If you can't get enough of the Japanese Schoolgirls, follow them on social media at the Japanese Schoolgirls. There you can stay up to date on new music, hijinks, merch, and more. And there's always something new to discover on Marquee Backstage, so be sure to follow us as well for news on upcoming guests, live streams, and of course, more music. Next, we sit down with co-founder and guitar player Dondi as he shares his favorite Schoolgirls memory thus far, how the writing process works between band members, and what we can expect on their upcoming album. To top it off, the Japanese Schoolgirls perform Contrails on Marquee Backstage All Access. Dondi, what is the best show you have played with the Japanese Schoolgirls?
I would say it's the one we played with Cage the Elephant and Manchester Orchestra. It was definitely the biggest show we've ever played, but we've had a lot of more intimate shows that were, I'd say, just as fun.
So what was so cool about that environment for you?
It was just the first time that we played in that big of a stage, first of all. Like, it was huge, and so we had room to run around. You can imagine Lucas. Yeah. But, and it was the whole atmosphere. Like, there's so many people there, and, like, it was just wild time.
Was there gift giving at that show?
We threw them out, but there was like a 6 feet barricade, so
you'd have to be a pretty good
we didn't get to handpick who got what this time.
So what's next for the Japanese Schoolgirls? What are you guys working on right now?
Well, we're working on new music. We'd probably, hopefully, be back in the studio again by the end of the year. But so we got a couple new ones that we're working on.
Is there anything different about this music that might surprise your fans?
Well, we try to change it up every album, you know. So this one, I know one of the tracks we have right now was, I'd say if I had to compare it to something, it's more on the like Pixie side. Like, it's like darker. I actually get to play slide in it, so I haven't played slide on a song since our second album.
So it's another side of Dondi that people may not know.
Yeah, I mean, we're all growing as musicians, and it's just coming together differently, you know. But it's just, you know, it's that process of writing new material. You know, we want to get, for this one, we want to write twice as many songs we're going to record so that we can pick through and, like, I like this one better than that one, but instead of just going in with what we want, you know, I want options this time.
So what's the writing process like? Do you all sit down and write together? Is it you and Lucas? How does that normally work?
Well, usually somebody will come up with an idea, and then we'll sit down and practice and start playing through it. And then Lucas is really good about improvising. Like, and usually we'll play the song live a few times before he even nails down the lyrics. Like, he changes them up, and even then he tends to change them up sometimes.
There are no set lyrics.
Yeah, there are no set lyrics.
Do you have a set list at a show?
No. Our bass player is always the most organized, so we'll just all look at him like, what's next?
So Lucas doesn't call those shots.
No. We used to write them out, but we haven't done that in probably 2-3 years. It's more of a just go with the flow kind of thing. That's kind of how the Schoolgirls roll. We're not too on top of things, really. We like to just, because I feel like it takes away from, like, the, you know, just the, I don't know.
There's
just
definitely a lot of spontaneity to you guys. You fly by the seat of your pants.
Oh, absolutely.
And we can't get enough of it.
Right.
So one last question. If we're going to beat the show that you did with Cage, who do you think would be on a bill with you guys that would really top that show?
Ween, Buckethead.
There you go. Coming to a city near you.
Yeah.
We've had a great time with you today, and we hope you've enjoyed it as well. For more Marquee Backstage content, please visit our YouTube channel at Marquee Backstage. Hit subscribe as well for full episodes, extended interview content, and much more music. Next week, we're going to explore wide open spaces and take a walk on the wild side. Get ready for Ghost Ranch. But to close today's show, we'll leave you with one last song from the Japanese Schoolgirls. This is Last Minute. I'm your host, Julie Milam, and I'll meet you here next week for more Marquee Backstage All Access.
Now the time is right. I think I'm gonna end this strife. Not because I really want to or relish in such a pride.